The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Hi, I'm your host, Miranda. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side. We are coming to you live from ECAT TV. And I would like to welcome my guest, Christine, for coming on the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And I hope everybody's having a safe winter. I know it's been very cold out there and stuff like that. And a healthy and happy new year to and I am going to start a reading for Christine. And yes, if you understand, no, if you don't, okay?
Okay.
And stuff like that. So, and we're going to have a spiritual discussion after her reading too. So I do want to come to you, and I do have a female that's behind you. I'm feeling a motherly vibration with this female because I see the family resemblance with you, with her, and stuff like that. And she's coming in, she's been wanting to come through to you and stuff like that. And she's saying she still misses me. And every curl is in place with cut short to the head.
Yep.
And you guys had the same build a little bit too, but she was the skinnier one out of two. I was the skinnier one out of the two. And she's cooking up a storm because I'm smelling all these wonderful baked goods and homemade breads and stuff like that. If you can understand that coming from her, I can breathe a lot better. She's telling me to tell you, you needed to hear that though. And you feel like you didn't do enough for her, but you did do a lot for her. And you were there for her to help her. And she's saying, I'm not in any more aches and I have my independence back. And she hated you guys fussing over her. And Mom has a very kind, you're hoping to hear from Mom tonight and stuff like that. I wish I had tissue, but I don't. And
it's okay.
She's saying, and I'm so happy I don't need help breathing anymore. If that makes sense to you, because she needed help with breathing in the end before she crossed, but you guys decided to take the machine off of her. So she's very happy about that because you did let her die with dignity and stuff like that. She was pretty when she was young.
She was.
Full head of light brown hair, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And she said it was really tough for her. It wasn't always easy at home. It's the memories they'll share with me, okay? Just to let you know that. Mom is like so happy she's not sore and in any more pain. And she said, you needed to hear that too. And somebody actually was there when she passed away and sent somebody in the room that was with her, that she was looking like on one and talking to somebody else that wasn't in the, that was there, but you couldn't see them. Does that make sense? And that was a family member.
Okay.
That was there to help her cross over and make the transition from this life to the other side, because this side, like over there, it's eternal. You know, it's the beginning and the end, like the beginning of a new life, but in the spiritual body and heaven and whatever you're on the other side. She's saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she's with Dad, by the way. And Dad's with her too. They're together over there. And she's enjoying a walk on the beach, if that makes sense to you.
Yep.
Collecting shells and everything like that. And she liked lighthouses. Does that make sense to you? I'm seeing, she was around me like since last night. Okay. And I was seeing these things I see out of my head. I'm a clear sentience medium, which is someone who can feel the presence, but sometimes I'll see two out of my head. And there was something about a book. There was a special book or I've seen prayer books with your mom, or it could be somebody else in the family.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Huh?
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you very much. But she's out enjoying the beach again. She was a very good swimmer and stuff like that. And stuff. She loved being around children and stuff like that because there's a younger spirit that's with her. on the
Okay.
other side, and I'm feeling a female.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
they're together. She's not alone. They're coming in together because you have a whole bunch of people that are around you. Your mom is like keeping everybody in line over there. And she said, because she did say to one of you, I got people I want to see when I cross over, if that's making sense, or to somebody in the family. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That she said, I'm not going to bother with you guys for a while to let you know I'm around. I'll let you know when I'm around. But that's how she was when she was here. And she can't stop smiling. And she said, my teeth are not sore anymore, if that would make sense to you, because just in the very end, they would bother her. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. The young woman that she's with is very happy, and she's, not sore anymore. Because I'm feeling cancer with somebody over there for you, that somebody had cancer.
Could have been.
Huh?
It could have been, yeah.
Yeah, with the cancer. But I'm feeling the young female that's around you, she was beautiful. And her death was fast, if that's making sense.
Not right now. It's
Okay,
not. Not
okay.
right
Yeah,
now.
no, because I'm going to get going with your mom because you were really hoping to hear from your mom.
Yeah.
And she has a lot to say. She said, they still really miss me at especially at the holidays and things
Yeah.
like that. And you guys did a salute to her with the glasses. Everybody was together. And that's wonderful because she loved the holidays and stuff like that. So she was really thrilled to see that. I'm just so glad I could breathe. I could breathe a lot easier. And Dad was like, I'm feeling hot with somebody over there, that they had a heart issue. And it was the heart that got them in the end. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling Dad. Okay? And they're like, together, it wasn't always easy for them. That would make sense to you too, and stuff like that. Mom is saying, I have my girlish figure back though, and that would make a lot of sense. And somebody was there when she was sick, when she was bedridden in the end, if that makes sense to you, where they would read to her sometimes with the book, and that would make a lot of sense too.
I'll ask.
Yeah,
I'll
ask somebody,
definitely-
because somebody in
yeah.
the family did do that, but she was listening in. Even though she couldn't physically communicate anymore, she
Yeah.
was listening in because somebody did feel they weren't alone in the room. That was her because she wasn't in her physical body, but she was in her spiritual body looking down, if that would make a sense to you. Okay, that's really awesome. I'm trying to see. And she's with her mom over there.
Yep.
And I see a garden with like all the pretty flowers and all the pretty scents, if that's making sense to you. But the only thing is I don't have to worry about killing them anymore. And that would make a lot of sense too. But I love when they do that. But they're together, your mom and, your grandmother. And I'm seeing the old-fashioned dress on your grandmother with the old-fashioned apron that she would wear over, like the house dress or whatever they were called back then, if that's making sense. And she's saying they're trying to out-talk each other. But that would make sense too. And your grandmother saying, well, I'm still domineering. And that has not changed at all too. And she's saying, I'm just glad I don't have to do all that housekeeping anymore either. And I'm feeling books with her. One of them liked to read. I'm seeing books, stacks of books, the old paperback, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
She knows what I'm talking about, by the way.
I do. There's a lot of books.
A pack rat.
Yeah.
She was a pack rat, and stuff like that. And they're trying to out-talk each other. And I said, but your grandmother's saying she always got the last word in. And that would make sense to you. Somebody's being very colorful with the words and swearing like a trooper over there. I said, well, I can't do that on TV, but I'll tell her that, and that would make sense. She's saying about her hope chest. I see a hope chest.
Okay.
And that's a special cleanser, what I call the cleanser and a reading, so I'm thanking them for that. And there's still some stuff tucked away nicely in it, inside it. That would make sense too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if it was your mom or grandmother, but I see someone knitting.
My grandmother, yeah.
Somebody still has her blanket. There's a blanket that I'm seeing That's
I
still,
think so, yeah.
huh?
I think so.
Yeah, but look into that, okay? It's gonna make sense, but
Yeah.
like later on, she said, we're all together. We're not in pain anymore. Because somebody had congestive heart failure over there, too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because they're doing fine, too. I could, with the heart and stuff like that. And I'm feeling more of a male with the heart failure that I don't have it anymore. Okay, so but that was contributed to his passing in the end.
Yep.
And that would make sense. I see a man that's average height, okay, thinning hair with the age, a little bit heavy set, but not overly heavy set. Is this making sense to you?
Yes.
And I'm feeling a fatherly figure or a grandfather figure with this man. That makes sense. I'm seeing wedding bands.
Okay.
Somebody still has those in their family. If that doesn't make sense to you, ask when you get home.
I will.
Okay,
I definitely will.
That is going to make sense. And your dad's doing fine. And he said she still misses the one-on-ones with me. And that would make a lot of sense. He was a hard worker when he was here. He was considered, well, he considered himself good looking, okay? You know where I'm going with that, with all of that. So he's happy to have his hair back. I'm so happy to have all my hair back. When the women would get, bickering or whatever, your dad would say, see ya, and go out in the other room. I'm going to let them, I'm not getting involved. You would know what that meant too.
I do.
That was wonderful. And he said he put in a lot of hours at work, but that's what they did back in that time frame.
Yep.
And they don't make cars like they used to either. He's saying to me that they're a piece of junk. But that's because they made them better. The body frames were better, he's telling me. And he tinkered. He liked to tinker with things, but didn't always get things finished. You know what I'm saying with that? And stuff like that. And liked to be out in the yard.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, it had a beautiful yard.
Yep.
And they get a good green thumb, too, by the way.
Yep.
Your dad did. He said, but the women, you know where I'm going with that. He's just glad, like, he's all happy. He's got his faculties back, too, and that would make sense to you. And you're having a big family reunion, by the way, with them coming through like this, okay? And she said she was hoping to hear from all of us anyways.
That's right.
Yeah, and they have a baby that's with them. A baby, if that would make sense. The baby was newborn, but didn't live very long. Can you understand that?
I had a miscarriage, but...
Huh?
I had a miscarriage.
Oh, okay, yeah, because so the baby's fine. I called them little angels and things like that. So you were curious. And I see grandmother rocking in the rocking chair, because there's an old rocking chair that's around.
Yep.
And stuff like that. And when I see the old folks rocking a baby, that usually is symbolic to me that somebody either lost a baby in miscarriage or had a baby that didn't live very long.
Yeah.
But the baby's with them.
Nice.
And just let you know that.
Very nice.
And they're very happy about the rocking chair still being around. I don't know if you have it or another family.
Yep.
You have it?
My parents have it. It's
okay.
My grandmother's. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't give me any information. Don't forget to put the graphic up. It'll come up on the TV screen. Don't give me any information, because that's what we call feeding the medium information. But she was funny about the chair, because people love to sit in it, and when you sit in the chair, she's around extending her love from the other side. That's your grandmother's message. Your dad, he's just loving being outside again. You know what I'm saying? And I see a toolbox with him that he used to have, so that would make sense to you.
Yep.
And I've seen a military man, too, that's over there. Somebody that served in the service. I'm not sure if it was you or it could be an uncle or something like that served in the service, but if not, I'm going to ask him to back off. But your dad's staying, he worked a lot of hours and stuff like that. And I'm seeing shop like machinery and stuff like that. Is that making sense?
Yep.
So he's doing that, but he was good at that stuff. Feeling like mechanically inclined engineering with your dad. So I'm glad that's making sense. Thank you very much. And he said, I'm listening in. And he saw the lights blinking on and off a while ago in the house where you live and stuff like that. So you couldn't find anything wrong with the lights. It was them letting you know that they were around through electricity, just giving you that sign. We're listening in and stuff like that. They are just so funny, and, and stuff like that. And sometimes the older ones do come in. Sometimes people don't want to have. I had a reading for somebody who was thrilled to have her grandmother come through, absolutely thrilled. So I learned not to question spirit when they come in. But those are the ones you're hoping to hear from. That's what they're
Yes.
telling me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the middle of April or towards the end of April, I'm supposed to wish a happy birthday.
What month?
April.
The beginning?
Somewhere in April, I'm feeling there's a birthday in that month of April. If it's not on the earth plane, it could be somebody on the other side. That birthday was in April.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I say, when I see those things, I have to give them anyways because they'll follow me home. And that's wonderful because, that your mom and dad are dancing. If that would make sense to you. Because
Yep.
they used to love to go out dancing with their friends when they were younger. That
Yep.
would make a lot of sense to the old time bands. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think it was called the Foxtrot too, or something like that, with some of the old style ballroom dancing. Does that make sense
That
to
makes
you?
sense. Yep.
So I have to give that to him. Thanking them for the special piece of culture too.
Yeah.
You did above and beyond the call of duty. Everybody did, but you were there the most, you know what I'm saying? And it was okay, because if you weren't there when one of them crossed over, because you needed to hear this, you were there when they needed them, so you felt guilty about not being there when one of them passed away.
Yep.
So they said it's okay. You needed to hear that, though, it was okay. I got to get myself to slow down, as everybody knows, but it was okay that you were not there, because you need to let that go. And you'll still get bothered by that. You know what I'm saying? But she was there, and it was okay. It was okay that she wasn't there when we passed away, and stuff like that. So somebody keeps repeating because they had a hard time remembering before they died. And they would go over stuff with me, and you know who that is, one of the parents. So that's why it's coming in that way. And so, but they're all fine. They're all healed, whole, and healthy. You needed to hear
Yep.
that too. But let go of that burden, because you just don't need to worry or anything like that. And I do have a male that's around you too, but younger.
Okay.
Younger male that is around them. Quite the character, very lively, very, you know what I'm saying? And he's with them. He's not coming through right now, but maybe he'll come through as we go along with the show. But you were wondering about him too.
Yep.
He's saying, I'm fine. He liked to help people, and when he passed, he was helping somebody. Does that make sense to you? So I'm glad about that. And I'm going to get going with the drawing for you.
Okay.
And they're all fine. And I see a sailboat or somebody with a boat. If that makes sense?
Yep.
They actually went out one time in the boat and they could need a little help getting back. If that's not making sense, find out about that.
I will.
Okay, but they did have the boat made sense, so that's really good. They're out in the boat again, by the way. I see the old cap, the fisherman's hat. They're trying to catch the fish, but didn't get any. And that would make sense to you, too, because I see the old-fashioned hooks on the cap. So I feel like this is more dad about this with that. So that's really wonderful. But now I can get fish. And he's telling me to tell you that. And your grandmother's saying her arms are not weak anymore, because her arms were very weak, because I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Where she wasn't very mobile in the end.
Mhm.
And that's all better. And they said, oh, our love is eternal. Our love does not die. And you needed to hear that, though, too. And they see you praying for them and going to visit, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And bringing flowers, too. Somebody brought flowers to with the resting places or wherever, does that make sense?
Yep.
That's why it's coming in like that. They're saying thank you. I'll try to go light with the eye. And they're all together over there. Nobody's alone. They're not
Good.
alone. And the young man, he said his death was not in vain, but
Okay.
it was due to circumstances, which is making sense, if you could
Yep.
understand that,
Yep.
trying to help somebody else. And he's actually helping other people that are young over on the other side too, so that way you would understand that piece of evidence. Because he had such a kind, caring nature. And I'm feeling, I'm seeing somebody that played in a band. I like to play a musical instrument. If you don't understand that, find out. Okay?
No, I
Huh?
understand. I do understand that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
They're playing the music again too.
Good.
And somebody liked to write. I'm seeing writing with somebody too that did a lot of like hand writing, you know what I'm saying? She knows what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
They're a wealth of information, your family. Nothing sacred with the medium to say. Oh, that's just too funny. I don't know if you have any questions for me at all, but that's who's around you tonight. And you need to hear too that the baby that you lost is fine, and you were very curious about that too.
Yes.
Somebody had something wrong with that eye in the end too. You know what I'm saying? Just before they had passed away
Oh.
with seeing,
With seeing.
with seeing with their vision, just in the very end.
I'm gonna ask
Okay,
about
because
that.
do you have an aunt over there too, in spirit? Because I'm feeling somebody's aunt that's around me. If it's not for you, it could be for someone else. I gotta just get the eraser. But you've been feeling them a lot lately,
Yeah.
and so they've been trying to let you know that we do see you and that we are around. You just needed to hear the confirmation that you
I
weren't.
did. I did.
What's normal, anyways? And but you needed to hear that they are sending you signs. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to let you know that too. This is what I call a quick sketch when I draw, so it might not be perfect, okay? Little chubby in the face too. Oh, and your mother and your grandmother are saying we don't have to pray as much anymore. And that would make sense, especially coming from your grandmother. Would sit in the pew at church faithfully and do the litany she's telling me with everybody. And she would go to the father, the good, father, and say, I have a list of you, people I need prayers for. That would make a lot of sense. I'm saying bingo too. If bingo doesn't make sense for you,
No.
I'm going to let that go, okay? Oh, and she's making me hungry again because I see homemade cupcakes, if that makes sense to you. Oh, yeah, really good. And if you would like to share some of your experiences too, and I'll see, people will come through, we are talking too, that would be wonderful. So everybody at home would know.
So when I was little, a lot of times the adults went into a separate room, and I would be able to tell them what they were doing, because I had eyes in the back of my head that could go into that room,
Mm-hmm.
and they, even my mother was amazed at how on cue I could be with what was going on in that room.
Yeah, and with the messages you were receiving,
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
that's really awesome. And you've learned to embrace the gifts too, so that's really good. Like I said, you might not know who it is. The older ones like to come in looking younger. And you get messages too. You
I
know what I'm,
do.
yeah,
I do.
yeah. And
I
like,
don't trust them all the time. I need to learn to.
can I share something with, I want to share something with you too. That was funny you should say that. I know we talked about this before, but with spirit, I had to learn to trust them too. Because
Yep.
back in my generation, this was not accepted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I even tried fluffing it off like a long time. And for the longest time,
Yeah.
when I fluffed it off, they'd come back stronger. So that's really good that you learned to embrace. And that's totally wonderful because either your grandmother or your mom was intuitive. One of them was intuitive to the psychic part of it or the spiritual part of it, if that's making sense to
It
you.
doesn't, but
Huh?
it doesn't, but I'm gonna ask.
Okay, but back then you didn't talk about such things.
Right.
And find out who the military person was too, the military man. And the young man is happy that somebody did something for him, like, like a little thing with the memorial or something, or like they've
Oh,
been,
yeah?
that makes sense?
Yep.
He's saying, thank you so much for keeping his memory alive. It was just, he was trying to help somebody else. And that's what happened when he passed away. My death was not in vain. And you needed to hear that and be the messenger. Sometimes you have to be the medium for somebody else when the medium that's doing the message work cannot be there. And there's a way to do that in like a conversation. Oh, do you know so-and-so? I was thinking about so-and-so today that passed away. So that way you can talk about that and bring the subject up that way. This is what I have so far.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's still not finished yet, but
It does resemble somebody.
okay. And I'm going to show Adam. Could you take a close-up? Thank you. We do thumbs up to each other. But I'm going to, because her hair was cut short to the head with curls. And I'm not very good at curls, but I'm just going to trust. A medium told me last night, trust spirit, because you're unfolding. I said, but I'm 64 years old. It's going to be, those curls that they had, like
Okay,
with
yeah.
everything. I'm just going to do them the best I can. I see a locket with somebody. A locket, necklace with somebody that has a locket.
Okay.
I have to give that to you. Check, she's got a lot of investigating
Yeah,
to do.
I know.
As well, but you were
I should
those.
have brought a pen and paper so I could write all my investigations down.
But I'm happy because you did want to know about the young man. And he said, I'm
did.
having fun. I'm listening to loud music. I have it on full blast. And I'm listening to the bands again, too. So he's very happy about all that. Very talented and stuff like that. So I'm seeing a lot of music around him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, too. Like I said, I'm not very good at the curl thing, but it's just a symbolic thingy. But the curls cut close to the head, and I'm glad you understand that. And trust your gut. And your message from your mother is you have to learn to take care of yourself. Because she takes care of everybody around her like I did, but,
Yep.
she got that from me. And I did not listen to everybody, and that would make sense to you, too.
Yep.
There's an old phrase from back in the day, mirror, mirror on the wall. I am my mother after all, if that's making sense to you, because she's over there chuckling about that, too, just to let you know that. Somebody wrote a note to one of them when they passed away. I have to give that to you. It wasn't put in the thing or anything like that, but find out about that, okay?
Okay.
But I'm glad most of everything that's coming through is making sense.
That one kind of makes sense to me. That one kind of.
The note?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a note that somebody wrote and stuff like that and wanted the note, because I'm seeing the note with the letter that they got, that letter. They saw it.
Okay.
And I'm glad that's making sense too. So
Yeah.
I'm thanking them again for the cleanser with you too. So that's really awesome. I'm trying to do the curls, like I said, but I'm not good at some of the hair stuff. But it was thinning. And that's totally wonderful. You know what I'm saying? But you wanted to hear from those people that came through tonight.
I did.
And the young man will be happy because the person that, they didn't have the foreclosure with that, with him when he passed away, but he's fine. He's not alone. And I still like the girls over here too, by the way, which that didn't change either, so that would make a lot of sense. Oh, and your dad is telling me I can finally get things done over here and get things finished. You know what he's talking about. Gotta take a sip of water. And his mouth isn't dry anymore. So he's very, very happy about that, and he's so glad about his heart not, being in any more pain with that. I didn't always watch my diet the way it was supposed to, too. That would make sense to you. Cholesterol issues with him big time.
Yep.
And he was a riot that way. And I'm just like, okie dokie. But he was just a wonderful, wonderful man and cared about his family. And he was there for the family. Even though he worked hours, he made time for you kids the best he could. And that would make sense. And I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to know or anything like that. But,
No.
and your grandmother's telling me my knees aren't sore anymore. Because the knees used to bother her,
Okay, yep.
Yeah, what you would talk about and kind of blow it up a little bit and things like that. They're all fine.
Good.
So she's happy about that. And your family all like their independence too. They hated people fussing over them. That's so funny. And I see your grandmother watching the old game shows that used to be on TV. Like,
Yep.
come on down, like blah,
Yep.
blah, come on down, and stuff like that. So she's watching those now. She's watching the old reruns over there. She wanted me to tell you that too.
Every day.
Yeah. And she said, but over here, there's no commercial interruptions. I'm not very good at the lip thing, so like I said, the hair, that would make sense. But I'm just trusting my hair to let it do its thing. Your mom liked to wear makeup when she would go out when she was younger because she said, I have my makeup on and everything matched. And men still like to look at her, she's telling me too. And your father wouldn't like that too much too sometimes. So I love when they do that. Beautiful dances though, by the way. Beautiful. It's like when they danced, it was like they were floating on a cloud. And that would make a lot of sense. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but I have to give it, I'm seeing trophies. If trophies would make sense. Somebody got a trophy for something. Find out.
Yeah,
Let me know.
I'm going to ask.
Because I'm saying, okay, so I'm feeling with the dancing thingy or something like that, but I'm happy about the letter writing and stuff like that. So thank you for the clencher. This is who I have so far. If you can understand who that is. And this is my gift to you, by the way.
Okay.
I'm going to give this to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to show everybody at home. It takes a lot of energy for them to come through, so, which is totally wonderful. She's saying not to be so sad, to enjoy your life. You were a wonderful daughter in every way. So everybody was, but you were just a little, not to make everybody else at home upset, but you were just a little bit more with her, but you would understand that coming from mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mom is happy that her hair is back, by the way, because it was really bugging her like like all of us when we get older as we age, because it thinned out really bad.
Yes, it did.
I miss my curls, she's saying, to tell me to tell you that. That would make sense. And she's putting the seashell up to her ear. If that would make a
Yep.
lot of sense here in the ocean.
Yep.
Her love is like the tide that goes in and out. You needed to hear that though too. And somebody still has some of my shells.
Yep.
Oh, your mother's spilling the beans, and that would make sense, and I'm glad about that too. But I'm not going out too much further with the hair. And her love is the turtle, like the ocean. You know, just tell her that again. I know it's repeating it, but just let her, she needs to hear it again. And she's saying, I'm not here suffering anymore. You know, because they were all here. They're not in any more pain over there. And you needed to hear that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And
Yep.
that's good because that's validation, just hearing that, you know, in a message from them. And so a pearl necklace. A necklace.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on her the best I can. This is just pearls, okay? And she just left to go sit on the seawall and breathe in the ocean air too. And that would make a lot of sense to you and stuff like that. And she liked a good storm at the ocean too.
That makes sense.
That's awesome. And like I said, these are their memories they'll share with me. You know, it's
Yep.
not about me. I'm just a person in between the veils. This is supposed to be a pearl necklace, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. And it's really wonderful because the young man is saying, they still miss me very much and things like that. And it was hard because he was young and things like that with his passing and all that stuff. But he caught up with your dad and the family that's over there.
Yep.
That would make a lot of sense
Yep.
to you. I'm here with Dad. So that would make sense. And people were upset because I'm supposed to go first, if that would make sense to you, because one of them, he died before one of the older folks passed away. I don't know if that's making sense to you, but I have to give
No,
that
it
to you,
doesn't.
okay? That'll make sense, though, to somebody who's getting the message, who's seen,
Yep.
you know, Only the Good Die Young, if you remember that song. Just gotta shade her a little bit. Oh, and if they come in dreams, those are real. Because you've had them come in your dreams and get the messages that way, too. They're filling me in, by the way. Those are visits. Spirit gives
I
what you
love
can
those.
handle.
I
That would
love
make sense.
those.
Just give her a little bit of blush because I'm giving her makeup. Sit up straight, Karen. She's telling me to sit up straight because she slouched in the end. It's coming in like that. That's supposed to be the makeup she has on. And she liked the bright red lipstick when she was younger. And that would make a lot of sense to you. I was quite attractive, she's saying to me. Yeah, and she's happy about being back at the ocean, too. I know, I'll get the darker pencil Sometimes I get the messages through the drawings too, so
Oh,
I've got to give her the red lipstick, so I've got to use the darker pencil. And she loved every one of you. It wasn't always easy with that. You know what she's talking about, because, you know. My dad was like a big teddy bear. And she was the one that was had to be the stricter one. You know exactly what she's saying. I know I have to smooth it out better. I'm not saying surprise to you, because you didn't expect this tonight. And they do thank you for the prayers. They do listen in when you're at church. Just to let you know that. But you do that anyways. I'm still not good at lipstick yet.
looks a lot better than I could do.
Yeah, I heard you. I hear you there. But oh, your family's a wealth of information too. And that's funny because the women are trying to out-talk each other. When they had a good fight going on in the kitchen, you would know what that was, but a fun fight, you know what I'm saying? To try to out-talk each other at holidays. And somebody was cooking something in the oven and it didn't quite make it out of the oven. It got burnt. So does that make sense to
Makes
you?
sense,
And
yep.
there was smoke everywhere. And I'm like, oh boy. So they said, she's saying, at least over here, I don't have to worry about setting the house on fire. And that would make sense to you. And I'm thanking them for all the special evidences that they gave me, because it's not about me. And that's supposed to be dark lipstick, by the way, on her, because it's red lipstick. If that makes sense.
Yep, it does.
I'm going to just show everybody at home. That's okay with you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. You know, your family is wonderful. They're learning to work together better as a family unit, if that would make sense.
Yep.
That would make a lot of sense to you. And I'm seeing a cameo with your grandmother. You know the cameo knuckles pendant or whatever?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's got to do a little bit of homework. But I'm seeing a cameo
Okay.
that she had to wear at one time in her life. And just to let you know that too,
Okay.
and she also saying, and I was gifted, and that would make sense to you, and things like that. So it's really funny. She can't stop smiling, you know. And she said, "You move forward, because there's somebody that you feel like they're not listening. If you want to move forward and go forward with your life and enjoy yourself, do it. Just do it." Okay.
Okay.
I'm a runner, but I'm retired from running, but we used to say, just do it, just go for it, you know. You need to take care of yourself. And that was the message from Dad, okay? That you need to take care of yourself and you'll have a good soul and a good heart, and we're all at peace on the other side, but you needed to hear that too. And you need to want to hear about your baby too as well, and stuff like that. And they're all celebrating
Good.
life.
Good.
And they're eternal, you know, and stuff like that. And our love never dies for you. You know, we are here all around you and stuff like that. And she just is happy because she was very independent, your mom, and stuff like that. And didn't like being trapped. You know what I'm talking
Yep,
about when
I
she
do.
was bedridden and everything and stuff like that. So, somebody would have the TV on to try to make it as homey as possible. And again, they're going back to because I'm feeling a sister that's over there on the other side. For you, either your mom or grandmother had a sister. Is that making sense?
Yep.
That went first. Is over on the other side and stuff like that. And that was who was in the room when your mom crossed over.
Okay.
And that would make sense. And I'm thanking you for sharing everybody with me. And it comes in like that because there were so many, different spirits that come
Yep.
in from the other side.
Yep.
And it does take a lot of energy. People don't realize, even like the littlest thing, and you have to trust your gifts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they're all happy. They're also very, very happy. They one caught up with the other one, but they did get ready to pass away.
Yep.
And prayers are very helpful because it helps with their energy over there and it helps them. You know what I'm saying? You know
Okay.
what I'm talking
Yep.
about with prayers. And I see someone doing the rosary.
Okay.
That would make sense.
It does make sense.
They have
Yep.
the blue ones back. There's a blue set of blue beads.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep,
Actually, yep.
Yep, and that was a little bit of an issue too. So about the blue, I have to give that to you if that makes sense. But
Okay.
yeah, and they're happy that they don't have to do that anymore. And they are saying thank you for the prayers, and somebody still has the blue beads.
I think so.
Yep. You got to find out. It might be a little sticky for you. I think you might understand that too, because it's personal stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And stuff like that. That's just, she knows what I'm talking about, And I said, I know. Now that you can catch fish again and stuff like that. But I don't know if you have any questions for me.
I can't think of any right now. I will later, though.
I know that does happen. And like I said to you in the beginning of the show, what doesn't make sense right now, you got to say, "Oh my God," you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, which is really, really good. I said to myself, it's wonderful because I believe we can go back. If we cross over, it's been proven. We go back to look at how what we liked ourselves at the best when we cross over and things like that. And what was I going to say to you is somebody said there's one of the mothers actually, they're saying they don't have to, grandmother or mom, we don't have to worry about our sugar level anymore.
Okay.
With the sweets and all
Yep.
that. So that would make sense because they were diabetes and things like that. And they can eat their sweets again and stuff like that. And she used to hide candies, by the way. She hid some sweets and things like that. And you guys would find some of the sweets. And that's why the sugar level went off a little bit. So I had to give you that special piece of evidence too and stuff. So I'm glad that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm seeing custard pie. Custard pie. I have to give that to you anyways, okay?
Okay.
But that's just maybe the baked goods that they liked. And sometimes when they see baked goods, it's just the baked goods that they're, enjoying those things again.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah, no, that's really good. But yeah, and enjoy life. Life itself is a gift. And life is way too short. And you know that though too, And what's really wonderful is somebody's traveling again too. Somebody love to travel.
Okay.
Yep, you know who that is.
Yep.
They're traveling again on the other
That's
side.
good.
So you needed to know that too.
That's good.
And and you have another male that's around you too, that's coming in a little bit now too. That would make sense too. And he's the one traveling, by the way.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah, and things like that. And he's saying he's not coming in very clear because the other the others were the stronger energies, so
Okay.
he was quiet anyway, so that would make sense to you. And I'm feeling a male with eternal love for you. Does that make sense to you?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna give that to you anyways. But the reason why it's coming through with that is because with the other male spirit that's over there, because the other three are empowering him with his energy. The other young man really needed to come through more. So, but he's around you too on the other side
Okay.
and stuff like that. And your dad's funny because he used to like to raise Cain when he was young. And that would make a lot of sense. He got in trouble too, by the way. He's saying to tell you, but you would understand that too, because of the stories he used to talk and say to you. He even got kicked out of places. He's saying to me to tell you that too, and that would
Oh, I don't think he told me about that.
Yeah, huh?
I don't think he told me
No,
about
because he said,
that.
"Well, I didn't tell her everything, but he that other part makes sense, so that's good. They don't tell us everything, our parents don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So, but he knew it, and somebody's holding the wine glass up to you, and I have to give that to you. And that
Okay.
would make sense. And they're all over there saluting you with the glass with the wine, just to let you know that because I see the wine glasses.
Okay.
So, and they're saying celebrate life. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they are really funny though. And that's who was around you tonight and stuff like
thank
that.
you.
So I have to give that to you.
I thank you.
And thank you for sharing your experiences. And that's good you pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because we are gifted too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And like I always tell people, not everybody is open to this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but that's their free will. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But I said, but I'm really happy and thank you so, so much for you sharing everybody with me. And she's awesome. Bill and Mom with this drawing.
Yeah.
Mom's saying surprise, by the way, because, to you and everything like that. And she's learning not to be a neat freak, cleaning so much because she used to like to have to keep this house spotless.
That makes sense.
And it makes a lot of sense. But I had to do it because of Dad and the family, but that would make sense too. And she's glad her hair's back too, and her eyes are a lot better too with the and that her skin is a lot clearer now too, so that would make sense too. And I'm gonna give this to you anyways, but I'm saying there was a cologne or a perfume called Gina Tay back in the day that somebody used to wear. I have to give that to you anyways. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna ask.
Okay, yeah. But they said that stuff smelled nasty. That's what they're saying, though. Me to tell you, or somebody used to overload with perfume, and that would make sense with stuff. So that could be like symbolic for me to deliver the message that way.
Yeah.
With the perfume, you smell perfume or roses or something. That was them. See, she gets all kinds of signals, all kinds, and that's just them letting that we're here.
Yep.
So that's good you paid attention to the signs. And your dad is saying when the weather gets better, or you probably do it now, when you go to the beach, you know what I'm saying? You'll be thinking of them.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And when you collect seashells and stuff like that, they'll be there with you because somebody did it right in the sand. And that
makes sense.
That makes sense. So they saw the message that you wrote. Thank you. That's a very piece of special clencher ribbon. And so, and they will see people that watch my show. Thank you for the clencher. And they saw the message before the waves came up and washed it away.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much for sharing everybody with me. And you just needed to hear that they weren't sore anymore. And stuff like that. So that's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I loved all the energies. And again, thank you for sharing them. Dad is just so happy, like he's at peace with himself. And you got to make peace within. That's another message to you, but
Right.
you know what he's talking about. And he said, you used to go like this. And that would make sense too, because that's what he's making me do right now with the hand. And somebody had a cane.
Okay.
That would make sense too. And they're going like this with the cane. I don't need it anymore though. It's, it's gone. So that's really good to hear. The older ones are funny that way.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah. And this is my gift to you. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
sign the bottom of it. Love, Mom, too. I'm going to put on it. And her hand's not shaking anymore when she writes, because somebody had a
Good.
hard time with writing, and
Yep.
she got upset because it wasn't clear when she would, write her hand, so she would get frustrated. And something about a smiley face, too. A smiley face that would, I'm going to put a little smiley face at the, over here. Be happy, she's saying. You don't give yourself enough credit.
That makes sense.
It does. Thank you. And sometimes when they repeat, it's because they feel like you're really not listening to. So that's why I had to repeat a couple of things to you too. And thank you for sharing your experiences too. That way, if anybody's going, they can listen to me till I ramble till. But that way too, they know that, gee, she's right. There are other people like me that are having experiences, so I'm not
Right.
alone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm just going to show at home if that's okay one more time. And I would like to thank Christine for coming on. And I would like to thank Adam, Joe, and Kim at the station for making it possible. And thank you for your volunteering and helping me to film Whispers from the Other Side. Thank you all very, very much at ECAT TV. And our loved ones are gone but not forgotten, and just a thought away. And I'm telling everybody, please be kind to each other, because life is really too short. You just never know. And even,
So true.
just be kind. And also, too, if you are out drinking and you have one too many drinks, give your keys to somebody else with the holidays coming up. And if you had one too many,